Folks, I said it last week and I was absolutely correct because I usually am 9 times out of 10 on this podcast, okay? The week before last, the numbers were down. I said, now we've got Daddy Trumpets to talk about. We've got Donald Trump news. And what happened? 25 plus subscribers later, 20,000 shorts views later, we've got the numbers back up, babes. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, do it. If you haven't hit the like button, do it. If you haven't hit the bell, do it. I know, I'm telling you what to do. And now you need to go do it. Listen to me right now and do it. Hit the subscribe button and do it. Because we're once again here to talk about Zaddy Trumpets, okay? And we've got the news. We've got it all. Again, we're kind of a week late on it, but that's okay. That's really okay. Because we've got the clips, we've got the topics, we've got it, and we're ready to go. Listen, there's nothing more that Donald Trump loves talking about than the electric vehicle situation that Biden is trying to pass. So the Democrats right now within the current administration have a plan that by 2025 in some states, by 2030, by 2050, whatever the year is, all federal vehicles, all consumer vehicles, all new vehicles being manufactured must be that of an electric or hybrid vehicle. We're trying to lower emissions. We're trying to get rid of the gas. You know what I mean? It's the future, folks. And what's happening and what we have now discovered is that Donald Trump and his friends like Marjorie Taylor Greene and all the Republicans don't like electric vehicles because it fucks with the bottom line. When you take the barrels of gasoline away and the American people stop buying said gasoline, then the trillions of dollars that we have with our friends in Saudi Arabia and other third world countries goes to zero. If there's no use for that gas in our vehicles and we're all driving electric, based on our plugs and our solar powers, thanks to Elon Musk, well, then Donald Trump and all of his friends lose billions of dollars. So of course we're advocating against the electric vehicles of America. And so, that naturally with Donald Trump's 3 brain cells translates to the fact that he assumes that all transportation will be electric, including boats. And honestly, when he heard this, Donald Trump said, I was in the room with him when he had this realization, hey, wait a minute. What happens when we put the all-electric boat in the water and something goes wrong? You know what I mean? And to that I say, good question.
So I said, let me ask you a question. And he said, nobody ever asked this question. And it must be because of MIT, my relationship to MIT. Very smart. He goes, I say, what?
First of all, the fact that Donald Trump has spoken to someone at MIT in his lifetime, maybe visited the campus, maybe knows someone who goes there, maybe knows a few people there. The fact that Donald Trump is at 1 degree associated with MIT makes him an honorary member of the board, makes him an automatic top-ranking graduate of all time, and any degree he wants from MIT, Donald Trump has it in his brain. In his brain, knowing the dean or the fucking person in charge, head honcho at the fucking MIT, he thinks he's just as smart as them because he knows them as a person. And that is the core foundation of Donald Trump, and it's why we love him.
What would happen if the boat sank from its weight and you're in the boat and you have this tremendously powerful battery and the battery's now underwater and there's a shark that's approximately 10 yards over there? By the way, a lot of shark attacks lately. Do you notice that? A lot of shark. I watched some guys justifying it today. Well, they weren't really that angry. They bit off the young lady's leg because of the fact that they were not hungry, but they misunderstood who she was. These people are crazy. He said there's no problem with sharks.
So, okay, he rambled a little bit there, so let me kind of bring it back, because the whole shark attack bit, we get shark, it's fine. So what Donald Trump is now is now projecting and asking this professor, this very smart person, what he is now asking is, if I have a boat with a battery on it, if I have a Tesla boat and my boat gets a hole in it and it starts to sink, and as the boat is slowly sinking, I look to my left and there's a great white shark just 10 yards in the water, circling, and he's hungry. He's a hungry shark. I can tell. I looked him in his eyes. I know. I asked him and he nodded. The shark was very hungry. I looked 10 yards to my right and there is the biggest shark I've ever seen. What do I do? What do I do in that situation? Do I stay with this electric boat that will inevitably electrocute me? Or do I attempt to fight the great white shark and become pretty much the greatest president ever? Name one other president. Biden couldn't do that. Biden couldn't get out of bed this morning, let alone fight a great white shark. That's why I'm the best. I'm the best president that there ever was.
I just didn't really understand a young woman swimming now really got decimated, and other people too, a lot of shark attacks. So I said, so there's a shark 10 yards away from the boat, 10 yards, or here. Do I get electrocuted if the boat is sinking, water goes over the battery, the boat is sinking? Do I stay on top of the boat and get electrocuted? Or do I jump over by the shark and not get electrocuted? Because I will tell you, he didn't know the answer. He said, you know, nobody's ever asked me that question.
That's
I
right.
said, I think it's a good question. I think there's a lot of electric current coming through that water. But you know what I'd do if there was a shark or you get electrocuted? I'll take electrocution every single time. I'm not getting near the shark. So we're going to...
Okay, so there you have it. There's your answer. There's your motives. It's what everyone's going to do. Hey, if Donald Trump says, go storm the Capitol, what do you think the American people... If Donald Trump says, don't go towards the shark, get electrocuted instead, that's what everyone behind him is going to do. That's what 99% of America is going to do. And for the 1% left who still kind of thinks that Joe Biden is mentally sound, well, you know, they'll probably swim towards the shark. Listen, both outcomes are, you know, inevitably deadly, of course. But here's my suggestion. If you know the boat is sinking, one, let's be honest, we can assume that the geniusness of Elon Musk will probably have thought of this whole scenario. At least he has now. He's definitely seen this clip. So basically, Elon Musk is going to make his Tesla boats, aka waterproof, unsinkable, and inevitably shark-proof, because they'll probably be the same material that they make with the Cybertruck. And you can't shoot that with a fucking machine gun, let alone a shark. So let's just be honest with ourselves. Elon's already on it, and this problem won't probably ever exist, thanks to, you know, the billions of dollars that we'll put into the project. And so what I would do, honestly, in that situation is probably swim towards the shark, punch it in the nose, grab onto its fin, and just, you know, kind of ride that bitch back to shore. And then when I get there, everyone's like, oh my God, Levi, what was that? I was like, oh, it's a shark. I rode him. They're like, Levi, how'd you get back? A shark. And so, like, I got on shore, and then I'm like, yeah, my fucking boat sank. Now I gotta go sue Elon Musk. I almost got electrocuted to death. What a nightmare.